Police brutality has been decried by Nigerians in different quarters. Despite the nationwide protests that called for a reform in the sector and an end to the excesses of some of its officers, brutality seemed to be on the rise. Hello and welcome to Crime and Justice Report. I am Victoria Omorogbe. Earlier in the week, we covered the story that bordered on a fundamental human rights lawsuit involving Mr. Anthony Obasoha and the Nigerian police. Let's have the details. This is Anthony Obasoha. He was once energetic and able-bodied until his unfortunate encounter with some members of the Nigerian police force who were on stop and search duty. The vehicle he boarded was shot at severally by one of the police officers, Endurance Obasoha, because the driver refused to be extorted by the police.
My name is Anthony Obasoha. So I was shot on October 12, 2017 by a police officer named Endurance Obasoha. So I was coming from village. The car was sitting. I was sitting at the back of the driver. So he said the driver refused to give him some amount of money. So maybe he was trying to threaten or what. So he started shooting, and that was how the bullets hit me at the backside of that's my backside, and gone to my waist, down to my spinal cord, and to my intestine, and came out the other side. So my intestine was damaged. Some of them they have to cut and sew back, and my spinal cord was also affected. So instantly from my waist down, we're not working. So with the help of doctors and treatment, so some parts were able to function again, while some we are still hoping for God to help. So I have some food I don't eat as normal as before. There's some things I don't do. So I'm not working, I don't work, and the thing is terrible. So I just need the government to help me out. Yeah, they were the one that rushed me. They are aware. Yeah, they rushed me immediately. So they will rush me to a private hospital before I was taken to UBTH, government hospital.
Barrister Dele Igbinidion, who is the lawyer of the victim, has this to say.
My name is Dele Igbinidion. I'm the lawyer for Anthony Obasoha, who was shot by a policeman because the driver of the taxi refused to give a bribe to the police, and he became angry and started shooting, and then he shot him. Well, we filed a fundamental rights lawsuit in the Federal High Court, and today the judge has heard the suit in the absence of the defendant, because they did not come, they did not file anything after having been served severally. So now the court has heard the case and adjourned for judgment. We have prayed the court to award him 500 million naira so that he'll be able to take care of himself, because you just heard him. There's certain food he cannot eat. Every food he has to eat, part of his intestine was cut and sewed together. Part of his spinal cord was affected, and all our movement. His leg is permanently limping now. He cannot get a job in this condition. So the story of sadness is very long. I don't want to start repeating it here, but it relies on justice. The court is the last hope of the common man. We have now argued the case. We are waiting for judgment, which is adjourned to 24th, I think, of April.
Mr. Agedo Osaundiame Loki is a UK-based lawyer and human rights activist. He narrated how he met Tony at the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, where he was dropped and abandoned by the police. Barrister Agedo came to his rescue in his hour of need.
Well, I met Anthony by coincidence.
Okay.
I actually went to the hospital ward, University of Benin Teaching Hospital, to visit a patient there. I went there with a cousin of mine to meet one of our relations or relatives that was hospitalized. He was in the same ward, the spinal ward of the hospital. So when I got there, I am based in the United Kingdom, and I know what the hospital setting in the United Kingdom looked like. So when I got there, I was heartbroken to see the condition of the patients and their relatives on the ward. So most of them don't even have water. The place was very hot, and some of them were carrying food everywhere coming from restaurant. And in fact, I was touched. So for those who couldn't provide for themselves, they were practically begging for help. So we provided succor for them. So I wasn't prepared for what I saw. I just shared what I had. Among those on the hospital bed, Anthony included. So as I was leaving the hospital, his mother came to me and said, "Thank you. But you have done so much, but we still want more." And I said, "What can I do?" And she said, "Anthony is owing about $500,000 in medical bills, and that they wouldn't even let him go if he didn't pay that." And I said, "Oh, why will he owe so much?" And then they explained, and what brought him to the hospital in the first place. They said he was shot by a policeman. But that kind of, pinched me somehow. And I said, "Oh, okay, if the police shot him, why aren't the police taking care of his medical bills? Or at least the government?" And they said, "Well, he's been dumped here, left for dead, and they never showed up to care for him." And so my next question was, what did he do when he got shot? And they said he was just a passenger in a car. You don't get shot for being a passenger.
Yeah.
So I did my preliminary investigation, and I discovered that they were right. The driver that was also carrying Anthony was unlawfully detained after that incident. So that is how the brief story of how I got to know them. So I said, okay, I can only do little. I provided what I could at that moment, and I told the parents that if Anthony is here in this state, actually he's in a vegetable state. He's incontinent. He doesn't know when he's stooled. He doesn't know when he's urinating, and it is only a bed holding him between his upper body and the lower body. And then I said, well, the government should do something. Somebody who shot him should be responsible. So who sent the guys on duty? These are questions which could be asked. So they are uncomfortable questions, but they deserve to be answered.
Definitely.
Anthony is in his 20s, just graduated, computer science student, a whole life ahead of him, with an aged mother in the 70s who can't produce a child anymore. So she has spent all her life training Tony. I know that in this country there's no pension. Basically, children are your social care, sort of. So Anthony would have been the mother's, solution to her pension, shortage. Retirement, yeah. So now the mother, instead of receiving from Tony, starting to babysit Tony all along
at 70.
At 70. So it touched me, and I thought, yeah, Anthony deserves justice. And here we are, 3 years down the road, we still haven't got justice for Anthony. So we need justice for him.
Well, that's a very pathetic one. We hope Tony gets justice. We hope justice takes its course. And with that report, we end today's episode of Crime and Justice Report. Please ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button displayed on your screen. I am Victoria Omorogbe. Thanks for watching.